2 million years ago, a jaw was a weapon. It was a crushing instrument of raw power, capable of tearing through sinew and splintering bone. Our ancestors possessed skulls that would look alien to us now, massive, angular, built for violence and survival. Look at them. Their jaws protruded forward like a predator's trap, lined with teeth designed not for refinement, but for obliteration. And then, somewhere in the darkness of a cave, much like this one, fire changed everything. If you're interested in how our bodies hold the fingerprints of our past, you'll want to subscribe so you don't miss what comes next. When our ancestors first learned to harness flame, they didn't know they were rewriting their own biology. They didn't understand that the heat transforming raw meat into something softer, more digestible, would eventually reshape the very bones of their descendants. But that's exactly what happened. Cooking did something remarkable. It broke down the complex proteins and fibers in meat before they ever reached the stomach. It released nutrients that had been locked away, hidden inside raw cellular structures. More importantly, it required less work from the jaw to process. The food was already partially digested by fire. The teeth didn't need to be massive anymore. The jaw didn't need to be a hydraulic press, and as generation followed generation, eating cooked food instead of raw, something profound began to happen. The selection pressure changed. A smaller jaw was no longer a disadvantage. If anything, it became an advantage. Less energy spent on massive facial muscles meant more energy available for something else, for the brain. This is where the real transformation accelerates. Raw food demands enormous metabolic investment. Your digestive system has to work harder to break down uncooked protein and fat. The process is slow, inefficient, exhausting. Your ancestors who ate raw meat spent hours chewing, hours digesting, their bodies locked in a constant state of metabolic struggle. But introduce fire, introduce cooked food, and suddenly the energy equation shifts dramatically. Cooking does the work before consumption. If this is resonating with you, the evolutionary logic of how fire shaped us, drop a like. It helps us continue exploring these deep patterns in human history. The cooked meal is easier to break down, faster to process, less demanding on the system. And here's the crucial part. The energy freed up doesn't disappear. It becomes available for growth, available for development. And in our species, it became available for the brain. Our brains are metabolic monsters. They consume roughly 20% of the body's entire energy budget, despite making up only 2% of body mass. Raw food couldn't support that expenditure. A pre-cooking human with a raw food diet couldn't fuel the neural expansion that makes us human, but cooked food could, and did. The archaeological record bears this out with stunning clarity. After fire, after cooking became widespread, we see a cascade of changes. The jaw shrinks, the face flattens, the teeth become smaller and more refined, the brain expands, tool technology accelerates, language becomes more sophisticated, art appears on cave walls, abstract thought emerges from the darkness. All of it traces back to a simple act, putting meat over flame. The campfire wasn't just a source of warmth or protection from predators, though it was both of those things. It was a biological revolution disguised as a daily ritual. Every meal cooked over those ancient flames was a small evolutionary pressure, pushing towards smaller jaws, larger brains, greater cognitive capacity. Look at the skulls arrayed before you. Compare the massive jaw of our ancestors from 3 million years ago to the refined, delicate jaw of humans from 50,000 years ago. That transformation isn't accident. It's the written record of cooking, preserved in bone. The shift happened gradually, across hundreds of thousands of years, but it happened with inexorable force, and the consequences ripple forward into the present moment. Modern humans carry the skeletal signature of the cooking revolution in every jaw, every tooth, every contour of the face. We are the children of fire. Our biology is shaped by what our ancestors did over those ancient flames, and we carry that history in our very bones. That campfire, that simple act of applying heat to food, launched the evolutionary chain that made us what we are. It freed our bodies from the tyranny of raw digestion, and freed our brains to become something unprecedented in the natural world. And that's the fundamental truth. Cooking didn't just change what we ate, it changed what we are. Subscribe so you never miss the next exploration into how our past lives in our present. And if this helped you understand the deep evolutionary roots of human biology, leave a like. What's your experience with this idea? Do you notice the traces of evolution in your own jaw and teeth? Or is this the first time you're considering how recent these changes really are? Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.